So the other day I am online, I find this article about knockoff Yeezys. It's the whole store. So let me show you this real quick, just so you can see. So check this out. This fake Yeezy store has just opened in China, and it is right next to the new Bunrin shoe store as well. They have this insane collection of fake Yeezys, as you can see here. Why do you even need a fake Yeezy store? Like, how much do a pair of Yeezys even? Holy smokes! 220 bucks for a pair of shoes? Do you see this? Let's get real for just a moment. I think I kind of understand why there's a knockoff store now, because your boy right here, here's what I do. I go and I buy the BOGO Adidas. Give me a high top in gray, high top in black, because I don't have 200 bucks to spend on a pair of shoes. Maybe some of you do. I don't. I have to feed my family. I got a yard that needs fertilizer. Buy soap. I can't afford $200. I didn't know this was a thing. I didn't know that making fake knockoff sneakers was a huge business, and apparently it's been around for a really long time. Meet the company that has been doing insane knockoffs since the 1970s.
From $16.99, only at Tom McCann.
And then you have this right here. They also knock off Mercedes. Wait a second, it's definitely not a Mercedes G-Class, because this is what the Mercedes G-Class actually looks like. Now here's the reality. Even though I've never owned a pair of real Yeezys or a actual G-Class Mercedes-Benz, I can tell you, here's what I do know. If I owned a real pair of Yeezys and then I went and bought a knockoff pair, I would be able to tell the difference. They would wear differently. They would feel differently. If I went and drove a Mercedes G-Class and then I went and got the knockoff version of it, they would not even compare. It wouldn't even be close to the actual real thing. And once you've had the real thing, nothing else matters. Now, here's what I want us to think about. When we have an authentic faith in Jesus, the same is true. Once you've really had a relationship with Jesus that is authentic, nothing else compares to that right there. Now here's another example when it comes to authenticity. This drum set that I'm sitting behind is an actual 1965 Slingerland original. In this kit, there's some certain things that signify its authenticity, that make it real. One of the things is the badge that's on the top of each shell. Each shell has a serial number and a badge that gives you the date of when this thing was created. The other thing is the wrap and the color of the drum. There's all of these signifiers that this thing is real and authentic. Now, here is the problem that we had with authenticity when it came to Jesus. People didn't want to believe that he was the real thing, that he was the real deal. But the problem is Jesus kept showing all of these signs that he was authentic, that he was real, and that he was God. And this blew everyone's mind. As a matter of fact, the people just said, no, you're not really God. You must be coming from a demon. Me in John chapter 8, verse 48. Was it the people retorted, "You Samaritan devil, didn't we say all along that you were possessed by a demon?" What? Their reasoning was kind of simple. They said, hey, if Jesus was doing amazing things and showing amazing signs of authenticity, then it must be coming from evil. But Jesus would have none of this talk. He knew exactly who he was. He knew that he and the Father, he and God, had a unique relationship that was incredible and that was real, and that he was truly Jesus, the Son of God. No, Jesus said, I have no demon in me, for I honor my Father and you dishonor me. Jesus even obeyed God in a way that nobody else could. And though I have no wish to glorify myself, God is going to glorify me. He is the true judge. I tell you the truth. Anyone who obeys my teachings will never die. All of these statements boil down to this. All of Jesus' claims, all of his signs showed that he was the exact representation of God. Jesus made these claims. He made these claims, but guess what? He backed them up. He predicted, his own death and his resurrection and actually pulled the thing off. I don't know anybody that's ever done that before. Our belief that Jesus is the unique Son of God and has the extraordinary power of God sets in place the extraordinary plans He has for you. You were created in the image of God. Everything that we see in the Bible about God is true. Everything that God says about you in the Bible is true. You are uniquely and wonderfully made, that He put you together, that you're not a mistake, that He's with you no matter what happens in your life, that nothing can separate you from the love of God. All of these things are the truths of who Jesus is. So that question, who is Jesus, is everything. And if Jesus is just a historical figure, if Jesus is just a story, if Jesus is nothing but fiction, then all of those things of identity and purpose and meaning go to the wayside. That's why authentic faith is so important. We begin to see that we're made in the image of God. That's why we see people do incredible and amazing things. Things that blow our mind. Man, those are just pictures of a God who has incredible creativity. When we listen to great musicians and we're fascinated by the music that is taking place, it's a piece of who God is because that's what He does. He's extraordinary and He creates. When we see people do incredible feats of athleticism, we see people do amazing things that blow our mind. Those are the things of God. That's God showing us once again that I am unique and that I have created you in my image. See, the biggest part of this whole thing, of who is Jesus to me, is where I find my identity. It's where I find who I am.